I once lingered amid the ruins of my own spirit. Not an actual devastation, but it seemed that way. My relatives' remarks were the inferno, singeing my boundaries. You don't fit in, my mom snarled. You're a phantom, my dad sneered. You're not part of us, my aunt whispered harshly. And I absorbed it completely. Until the moment their delicate realm collapsed in flames and they sought me out, the child they had exiled. Curious about my decision? Keep listening. This isn't regarding revenge. It's concerning the blaze I endured to discover my personal glow. I'm Noah Grayson. I'm 29, and for the majority of my existence, I was the flaw in my family's flawless reflection. They were the Graysons, polished, driven, constantly orchestrating their upcoming success. My sibling Owen was their prized possession, the one whose betrothal celebration was intended to be their most magnificent spectacle yet. I can still picture Mother bent over a computer, her digits fluttering over an invite roster like a magistrate issuing verdicts. My name was the initial one she erased. I lingered in our aged cooking area, the one with the chipped stone surface and the tap that leaked like a gradual pulse. Noah, Mother stated, her gaze icy as metal. This is for individuals we cherish. Her tone was a dagger, precise and merciless. Father rested against the surface, laughing softly. Some folks simply don't qualify for an evening like this. Aunt Sylvia, swirling her drink, contributed families about loyalty, Noah. Genuine loyalty. My windpipe constricted as if a cord was twisting within me. I'd devoted years attempting to integrate, paying their bills, correcting their errors, enduring their disdain. But that instant in the cooking space where I'd once scorched my palm on the oven as a youngster, it struck me. I was never truly accepted at their fireside. Not genuinely, so I departed. Not merely the residence, the region, the nation, all of it. I reserved a journey to a location I'd only encountered in books. Undulating landscapes, atmosphere dense with evergreen, streams shimmering metallic beneath the early morning rays. I convinced myself I was pursuing something, not escaping. But during the evenings in a squeaky lodge with partitions as slender as murmurs, their utterances scratched at me. Insufficient, not belonging to us. The phrases lingered like ice, pointed and inflexible. On the fourth day of my getaway, my device chimed. A solitary message from Owen, we require you. Something shattered, no specifics. No remorse, just those phrases shining like an alert. My gut churned, something about the directness seemed incorrect, like a flicker in parched foliage, minor but poised to erupt. I didn't reply. Instead, I tucked my device beneath the cushion and stepped into the dawn fog, feigning I didn't detect the conflagration awaiting at home. 3 days afterward, the inferno expanded. My device exploded with notifications, each more urgent than the prior. Noah, the event's canceled. The food providers departed. We need you. Mother's recorded message quivered, her typical malice mellowed to alarm. Please, child, we didn't intend it. You're part of us. Father's message was unpolished. You possess the funds, don't allow us to perish. Aunt Sylvia, always the plotter, composed. Owen's devastated. Don't worsen this. I rested on a timber seat beside a surging brook, the breeze keen with damp soil and untamed blooms. My digits trembled as I navigated their pleas. A week prior, I was the reject, the offspring they didn't esteem. Now I was their lifeline. The paradox burned like fumes in my chest. I'd rescued them previously, telephone charges, vehicle financing, even Mother's concealed betting obligations. I'd handled it discreetly, like a burglar navigating their turmoil. But this occasion, it wasn't solely currency. It was an occasion constructed on falsehoods, supported by commitments they couldn't fulfill. And they anticipated me to extinguish the blaze. I bent ahead, arms on my legs, and murmured, they don't get to redefine me at this point. But that wasn't the most severe aspect. Back at home, their domain was embers. Owen phoned. His tone fractured. Noah, it's $30,000, merely the food providers and the site down payment. If we don't settle, it's over. All is over. I could detect Mother sobbing in the distance, a noise I didn't realize she was capable of. You're not that person, are you? He remarked. The one who'd observe his relatives incinerate. I chuckled, sour and subdued. You didn't desire me present, Owen. Recall, authentic loyalty solely. The connection fell quiet, his respiration uneven. He didn't counter. The following dawn, Aunt Sylvia appeared at my entrance. I'd just come back, my overcoat still infused with the aroma of evergreen and stream liquid. She remained there, her customary haughtiness supplanted by an anxious twitch in her mandible. Noah, you can't proceed like this. Owen's broken. The entire town's discussing it. I folded my limbs, my tone firm as rock. You claimed I wasn't loyal. You claimed I wasn't kin. Why should I concern myself with your murmurs now? Her mouth opened, but no utterances emerged. She pivoted and departed, her footwear grating like a diminishing flicker. Each day, their communications intensified. Father's manner shifted to chill. You're ashamed, Noah, always have been. Mother attempted guilt. We nurtured you superior to this. But their remarks didn't scorch any longer. They seemed like coals extinguished. I shared an image digitally, a capture from my journey. Me positioned on a summit, breeze pulling at my coat. The inscription was concise. Occasionally, the individuals who expel you are the ones who depend on you the most. Regrettable they didn't recognize it earlier. The approvals surged, but the confidential communications struck more profoundly. Companions. Unknown people. Individuals who'd experienced the identical sort of banishment. Their remarks comforted me more than my relatives ever did. But something more ominous was emerging, something I didn't perceive until it devoured all. By the seventh day, their domain was ashes. The organizer resigned. Suppliers disappeared. Gossip circulated in our town. The Graysons can't settle their obligations. Owen's betrothed, Lena, shared enigmatic statements about honesty and trickery. Mother's digital footprint vanished. Father appeared like a specter, depleted by humiliation. I rested on my fire ladder, the metropolis throbbing beneath, its luminous shine distinct against the darkness. My device vibrated once more, Owen, his tone fracturing. Noah, we're ruined. The site's pursuing us. Individuals are ridiculing us. I realize we injured you, but please, I'm begging. I didn't answer. My heartbeat accelerated, not with remorse, but with something more intense. Reality. For years, I'd been their barrier, absorbing their tumbles. I'd compensated for their arrogance, their appearance, their deceptions. And in exchange, they'd excise me from their narrative. I rose, clutching the barrier, my respiration acute. The burden of their remarks, their dismissal, bore against my chest. I sensed it. The instant I'd been pursuing unknowingly. The instant I'd cease concealing, cease imploring, cease being their spark. That evening I discovered a recorded message concealed in my storage, not from my relatives but from Lena. It was dispatched days earlier, misplaced in the disorder. No, I wasn't aware. They informed me you avoided the event deliberately. They claimed you despised me. I discovered yesterday. They fabricated about all. I'm finished with Owen. I can't wed into this. My core halted. They hadn't merely banished me. They'd obliterated me, crafted a story to safeguard their veneer. They informed Lena I was the antagonist, the resentful sibling who departed, all to conceal their embarrassment, their liability, their collapsing domain. I sat as the reality settled like residue. This wasn't merely an event. It was a fabrication they'd erected to prevent the world from witnessing their true nature. And I was the sole one who'd ever perceived it distinctly. The star they rejected had been sustaining their universe all along. I didn't yell. I didn't sob. I simply rose, proceeded to my pain, and gazed at the metropolis's radiance. For the initial occasion, I felt acknowledged, not by them but by my own self. The event never occurred. The Graysons' reputation turned into a caution murmured in our town. Mother's communications ceased. Father's messages became frigid. Owen dissolved into his personal sorrow. And me? I continued constructing. My existence expanded. Companions who selected me, a profession that recognized me. A blaze I ignited with my own grasp. I don't despise them. I don't require to. Their quietude is their judgment, and my tranquility is my own. I shared one final image, a capture of my notebook, a solitary stroke etched in black. They incinerated my spot at their fireside. So I ignited my own, and it glows more intensely than theirs ever might.